Okay, this is to fix the misfires on a GSG 16 light primer strikes. There's a lot of videos, but none of them are really addressing the issue. I didn't show on the video on how to take this all apart because I assume if you're having the same problem I did, you've already realized how to take it apart. This is your bolt carrier group, slides inside this metal frame. The actual bolt carrier is right here. For whatever reason, GSG deemed it necessary to right here put a secondary safety that is actuated by this piece right here when you pull the trigger. So when it's cocked, and you can see it move forward with the trigger movement, that would slide in this little groove right here. And like I said, I don't want to take this all apart because these are not made as best quality, and I've had one screw nearly stripped, but it's very simple. Right here, you'll see a little, it's a round ball, like a ball bearing, and it's inside of here. It's held on with a spring. There's a spring inside there. You can't take that out without taking the firing pin off. To take the firing pin off, and again, this cap, this black cap that rides inside the actual carrier group, I didn't want to take it all apart because I've had it apart a dozen or more times. You have to, there's a oh Jesus spring in here, so be careful about that whenever you take that apart, or you'll be going, oh Jesus, where did it go? What you'll have to do is there's a set screw right here. You'll back that out. Be careful, because if you use one of these type hex heads with the ball, it'll break, and then it's put it in a freezer with a magnet on it and hope that it shrinks enough for that magnet to pull it out. So use the other end. You'll take the set screw out here, and again, I apologize for it not being all the way apart. There's a small pin on this side, and you'll tap that out, gently tap it out, because inside of here, which again you can't see very well, it rests inside two bushings, and then that pin goes through there. It goes all the way through the firing pin mechanism, which is right here, and you can see how it goes forward. Where the issue is with the misfires and light firing strikes is that secondary safety. If there's a little bit of grime, or the piece off your firing mechanism isn't hitting it properly. I even tried bending mine a little bit. Didn't really work that well. Then that won't depress, and it'll cause a light primer strike, because with that in there, the firing pin, which you can see right here, would only come up about that far, and you'd end up with about every other shot. It was infuriating, because this is a fun gun if it's operating. Anyway, to get back to it, remove the set screw, knock the firing pin, the pin out that holds the firing pin in there. Then once you do that, you can there's 3 of these Torx that are on on this black piece here, and there's 2 on this side. When you take those apart, you have to be careful, because whenever you drive that pin out, the firing pin is spring loaded, so it's going to fire back, but it's going to take some of the pressure off. But when you take it apart, you'll have a spring and a small plug on the back side of that spring. It goes towards the firing pin. That gives you, the firing pin, the ability to go to come back. Once you remove that, then this piece will come off. You can lift the firing pin out. Once you lift the firing pin out, it's just a simple matter of pushing, which again, it will be right here. Okay, here is that little secondary safety that I was talking about. The spring will be in here, and it will be installed right here, is where you'll see this piece protruding outward. Once you take the firing pin out by removing that set screw, pushing the pin out, taking this black cover off, you'll be able to lift the firing pin out. Once you do that, this will come right out, it and the spring. Like I said, it's junk. But that firing pin sets right in here. Unless this is depressed all the way, then the firing pin is going to want to hit right here, and that's why you get the light primer strike. Once this is depressed all the way, then the firing pin would go all the way through here. So take this out. You don't need it. reinstall everything the way it's supposed to be. Do not torque these screws down very much, or you'll end up with the same issue I did, having to use Loctite and a super glue substance to be able to make sure that those don't come back, because this whole thing is taking a lot of vibration inside the gun. Once you remove that, reassemble the way that you took it apart, and you'll have no more problems with the light strikes and the misfires. And then you'll be able to enjoy your GSG, or even the one that's on the HK MP5 all day.